Is management an art or science? Now, this debate is as old as management itself. So, here, today we will try to peel the layers of management and find it out for ourselves if the scale is tipped towards arts or science. Much of the controversy around management being art or science is based on description of the fact that the earlier leaders of industry used intuition, hunches, common sense, and experience in managing organizations. They were not well educated, they were not trained professional managers, but they managed their businesses brilliantly. Take the example of Dhirubhai Ambani. In 1950, aged only 17, he sailed in a steerage class of ship to Aden in search for a job. For 8 long years, he sweated it out. But later in his life, without a single educational degree, he created an empire called Reliance Industries. So first we need to understand that what is art? Now art is something that is created with imagination and skill, and that is beautiful or that expresses important ideas or feelings. Now the various branches of creative activity are painting, architecture, sculpture, literature, music, performing, and cinema. So the first element of art in management is practical knowledge. Now every art requires practical knowledge, therefore learning of theory is not sufficient. It is very important to know practical application of theoretical principles. Say for example, to become a good painter, the person may not only be knowing different colors and brushes, but also different images, different designs, dimensions, and situations to use them appropriately. Similarly, a manager can never be successful just by obtaining a degree or a diploma in management, until and unless he has an understanding to how to apply the various principles in real situations. The next element is personal skill. Now, although theoretical base may be same for every artist, but each one has his own style, approach towards his job. Now this is why the level of success and quality of performance differs from one person to another. Say for example, there are several qualified painters, but M.F. Hussain is recognized for his style. His paintings have sold for millions. His masterpiece, Sprinkling Horses, sold for a whopping $1.14 million. So similarly, management is an art, is also personalized. Every manager has his own way of managing things based on his knowledge, experience, and personality. That is why some managers are known as good managers, while others are known as bad. The third factor is creativity. An artist's work is not only limited to his practical knowledge, he also thinks outside the box and manages to create things which are extraordinary. Now, management is also creative like any other art. Management is all about finding a new way to do work different from others. It combines human and non-human resources in useful ways so as to achieve desired results. So we can also say that management is like creating sweet music by combining chords in an efficient manner. The fourth element of management as art is perfection through practice. Now it's a famous saying that practice makes a man perfect. So every artist becomes more and more proficient through constant practice. Similarly, managers learn through an art of trial and error initially, but application of management principle over the years makes them perfect in the job of managing. The last element is that art and management both are goal-oriented. Every art is result-oriented as it seeks to achieve concrete results. In the same manner, management is also directed towards accomplishment of predetermined goals. Managers use various resources like men, money, material, machinery, and methods to promote growth in an organization. Well, these elements do prove that management is an art. Though traditionally, creativity was linked with people in artistic professions such as writers, painters, or musicians. But in today's competitive business world, the need for creativity has transitioned into the business world. Jeff Bezos of Amazon prefers focus on the customer. It is famous that in every meeting, he leaves an empty seat for a customer to represent them. Bezos has made the customer a key component of his business strategies, and as a result, Amazon grew in leaps because of cultivated customer value. Management as science. Now, science is obtaining information about a particular object by a systematic pattern of observation, study, practice, experiments, and investigation. The management process also follows the same pattern. Gathering data and facts, analyzing them, and making a decision based on analysis are the basic functions of management. The first element of science in managing is universally accepted principles. Scientific principles represents basic truth about a particular field of inquiry. These principles may be applied in all situations, at all times, and at all places. Say for example, the law of gravitation, which can be applied in all countries irrespective of the time. Management also contains some fundamental principles which can be applied universally, like the principle of unity of command, which is one man, one boss. This principle is applicable to all types of organizations, business or non-business. The second element is experimentation and observation. Scientific principles are derived through scientific investigation and research, that is, they are based on logic. Say for example, the principle that Earth goes round the Sun has been scientifically proven. On the same lines, management principles also have been developed through experiments and practical experiences of large number of managers. Say for example, it is observed that fair remuneration to personnel helps in creating a satisfied workforce. The next element is cause and effect relationship. Principles of science lay down cause and effect relationship between various variables. Say example, when metals are heated, they are expanded. The cause is heating and result is expansion. The same is true for management. Therefore, it also establishes cause and effect relationship. For example, partiality between employees will lead to ineffectiveness. If you know the cause, that is partiality, the effect can be understood easily, which is ineffectiveness. Similarly, if employees are treated with respect and dignity, they will work constructively. But when not treated in fair and just manner, will reduce the productivity of an organization. The fourth element is test of validity and predictability. Validity of scientific principles means that they can be tested at any time or any number of times, and each time these tests will give the same result. Moreover, future events can be predicted with reasonable accuracy by using scientific principles. Say for example, H2 and O2 will always give H2O. Similarly, principles of management can also be tested for validity. An example can be principle of unity of direction, which states one head, one plan. It means that all the employees having same objective must be directed towards the achievement of the common goal and thus must have one head and one plan. To conclude this debate, we can say that management is both an art as well as science, and that science teaches us to know while art teaches us to do. To be successful, managers have to know and do things effectively and efficiently. This requires a unique combination of both science and art in managing. Hence, art and science are not conflicting but complementary to each other.